down soft, turn the key and cooler on. Push a pause for relief. Free pass, you don't even have to ask to be the cat in the sun. Someday I will see the whole deal through. Today I've got better things to do.
Welcome back to another episode of Excellence. Today, we're following the ghost of the Great Northern Railroad. Established in 1889, the historical significance of the Great Northern Railroad in America is exceptional. You're gonna have to trust me on this, but we're gonna go high up into the mountains to explore what's abandoned and unseen. Over a century old, it's still up there and existing. It's gonna be very interesting. Behind me is an old homestead from the era of the Great Northern Railroad. We're standing on what was once the rail beds of the Great Northern Railroad that offered generous subsidies to landowners, ranchers, and homesteaders alike throughout continental America and its great expanse it followed. It would give people benefits such as free seed, transportation, and you can see there's an old cattle corral behind me that actually served the Great Northern Railroad in exporting cattle and ranching goods to the greater United States. The Great Northern Railroad is magnificent and the history behind it is monumental. I'm excited to share this with you today. Should be interesting, but let's appreciate this old homestead. This was definitely a result of the Great Northern Railroad. Someone homesteaded here and reaped the benefits of the Great Northern Railroad and the generous subsidies it offered homesteaders during the age of American westward expansion. We're gonna see things like this all throughout the day. And the grand site we're going to explore is a tunnel, and it's intact and preserved and wonderful. Excited to have you along. Thanks for joining. We'll see you on the trail. So as I'm following this stretch of rail bed right here, which was the Great Northern, a little bit down the way from where we started. So I'm following this stretch in this entire valley right here, which is optimal grazing land, as you can see. But look at this beauty here. It looks like it's in someone's pasture, but this is definitely the remains of the Great Northern Railroad as well. When you look at this, you can see kind of its old style. I'm not sure if that would have been a house or what that would be, but that definitely had function next to the rail. And a lot of times, due to this being prime land, it was homesteaded as a result of the Great Northern Railroad. And you can see around us it's optimal for grazing. And the railroad being so close right here, they would be able to process, load, and distribute cattle throughout the entire country due to this old line being here. And it's really fascinating that these structures are kind of littered in plain sight, and you necessarily wouldn't know it unless you studied this magnificent old line. And something that gives us a tall tale hint as well as that pine. You see how that pine's growing right out of this foundation? Look at the age of that. That pine's got to be 20 years old at least. And there's another one there, and that's raw lumber. It almost looks like rail tie. It looks like it's processed lumber that would have came in, and you can see the roof, how that was done. So this is directly a result of the Great Northern Line from the day. And we're gonna head up into the mountains and get to one of our main attractions, but this is pretty cool to see. I wanted to share that before we get on the road. And another fact as well is this building has a U shape to it. So you see the long foundations jutting out from this building here, the diagonal one, but it's a U-shaped. It almost looks like it's directly related to some railway function. I just wanted to point that out before we get going, because it's an interesting building as we explore a lot of different abandoned things connected to the Great Northern Railroad, the Milwaukee Railroad, the Northern Pacific. All these, we encounter some different buildings, even if they're abandoned homesteads, but we don't see this a lot. But yeah, appreciate that for a minute, and continue our tour of the abandoned Great Northern Railroad in this beautiful country here. It's a beautiful day. So another thing to point out here, this is the rail bed of the Great Northern we're exploring. This was the cattle guard or gate, and this homestead or loading station, whatever we've stumbled upon out here, was directly connected to the rail line. Carts would pull up right here and cattle could be loaded very simply, and you can see this valley again is such a prime pasture located in the middle of the mountains. There's good water, good grazing land. That's definitely what this area is, but we're headed up into the mountains to discover a crucial transportation corridor. So we're up this hill, and after we got out of that grazing ground, we followed the old Great Northern rail line up into the mountains, and as you can see, we're parallel to a highway, but we glided right up here, and this is the exact grade the Great Northern followed. So it's going to lead us to something cool, but it's interesting. You see these cuts and this jagged work here. We went straight up the side of the mountain, and we're following the actual historic Great Northern rail bed, and during its time this area would have been hustling and bustling with passengers, cattle, freight, and many other goods. And it's very scenic as well. It's very scenic, and just about anyone can explore it. Hear the big rigs rushing down the highway. Really cool. Let's keep going, see what we don't find. So speaking of the old Great Northern, we actually got pushed back down off the old historic rail bed because there's a cattle drive headed down the mountain for winter pasture. So it's delaying our trip a little bit to the old rail tunnel itself, but you can barely make them out right now, right up here. And we're going to try to catch them coming down here, and they're going to go somewhere over here to winter pasture. So we're giving them a little bit of clearance so we're not spooking them or creating a bottleneck there up at the top of the mountain. Back on the trail, the old cattle-driven trod. We're making our way back up. This is where we got stopped before, right here at the cattle guard. We're just gonna go around that, and we're back on route. So as we're following the Great Northern Rail line, look at this cut right between this mountainside right here. We're still close to the highway right down there. You can see it's trampled by all that cattle we ran into. But look at this. This is a nice little feature of the track we're on. It looks good. And it looks like there's some old rough lumber here. I don't know if that was a fence post or a old rail bed, but this is the line. And you see all this mulch here due to a forest fire. So originally during midsummer, I tried to come up here after our other rail tunnel we visited, which was a Northern Pacific rail line that cut through the Continental Divide. Here we have the Great Northern, and it cut through and it went all the way from Great Falls, Montana. So it was a good cattle line and for mining purposes as well. Ended all the way up in Butte, and we're just backtracking going through here. You can see some of this fencing. This is all forest fire mitigation right around here. All this stuff, all the scraggly stuff they cut out. But that's a good feature. So we're gonna keep going up the road here. So you can tell that we're getting close to the tunnel here. And look at this, it's just beautifully cut through this mountain. This is a really nice feature to the track. You can almost imagine this Great Northern Rail line running right through here, full of passengers, not knowing where they're going, new immigrants, helping build America, and this is the canyon they would have traveled through. And it's a great little feature. And I don't know if the sound's making a difference, but for me personally, here it is. I can hear it echoing right off the side of the canyon walls. Really cool. This is a great little area. Look at the little turn right here. We're going to be coming up on that in a minute. You see it? It's right there.
I know. There's other sort of. Oh, that's probably that doggy. You see those other prints?
Yeah, there's some prints out here too.
Probably some dogs.
I think they ran this cattle right through here.
They would have had to, I imagine. There's something over there.
This is tunnel number 9. $1914. Yeah, look at this. Wow.
It's pretty cool. I always love seeing on the roof of it where you can see the. What am I trying to say?
The soot from the steam
the soot.
engines. It's really cool. Yeah, the cattle's been here. They drove them right through here. Wow, this is a huge tunnel. Too cool. Look at that. Yeah, and so you see some of it right there is starting to crumble. But this is a great looking tunnel. Look at the features on this baby. Wow. Number 9. Look at that. We're gonna get the flashlight. We're gonna do our walk like we normally do and just kind of investigate the inner workings, see how it's holding up. I'll meet you back in the tunnel. Yeah, so we're making our way through the old historic tunnel. There's a little bit of vandalism, not a lot. You see some of it's cracked up there. It's the ice. But this is really sweet. How long this is. Old Great Northern Line. Look at this. There was electricity or
Maybe lanterns?
yep, some sort of a function up there. See it kind of.
I don't see any of that. It's maybe not a long enough tunnel to have those little inlets.
It should have one inlet.
It's cold in here.
It's really cold. You see the ice kind of making its way around there in the old steam marks.
A little bit.
Wow, it's getting dark here.
Right up there. There's something. Unless that's just condensation.
I wonder what these are. Reflectives. Those are reflectors or something, or maybe lights. Yeah, that was a light.
Is that moisture right here? Or a raft?
That's water.
Okay.
Yeah, there's water dripping down.
Yeah.
Point this out a
See
little
right
more.
there, I think that's where you can see a lot of it where it's shiny.
Yeah, this whole thing's water. This is impressive though. Look how old this is. This is from the turn of the century. This is over a century old. And look at the work here. Just look at that. This is amazing. Amazing piece of history here. Part of American exceptionalism. And it is dark back here, isn't it? Okay.
Yeah, I see right there.
Yep.
That's pretty cool. I can paint with water, I think.
Are you?
I hope that was water. Oh yeah, look at the icicles up there.
Are there some?
Right here. See right
You
on
don't want it to hit you in the head.
I know, it's right here on the corner.
Oh
They're
yeah.
hanging down. That's neat.
Isn't that cool?
Careful because it's going to be slippery then.
Yeah. Yeah. It's still going. I mean, there's a lot of watermarks, but I don't feel like, oh, this is bowed.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that. See the earth kind of pushing this tunnel right here? You guys see that on camera?
Side too,
The curvature of it?
where it's cracked here. See it?
Yep. Yep, that whole crack's giving way. And I think if I put the camera, you can really make it out right here. You guys see that? Look at that. So that's the top of the tunnel. Look at how this is pushed out. Pretty crazy. Oh, this is even getting worse here. And it's really hard to make it out in here because it's so pitch black. I'm assuming this is about 800 feet in length. And we're only midway through. But you can see this crack right here.
I mean, obviously.
It's fine. I'm just trying to capture it the best I can. Yeah, look at that. Whew.
Oh, that scared me. Put the flashlight down for 1 second.
Okay.
I think in editing, I'm gonna be able to get some cool pictures out of here when it picks up the shadows and stuff.
I think so. Yeah, this is old tunnel number 9.
Cold.
It is cold, isn't it? Yeah, it's this side of the mountain too. The left side coming from the north entrance is really pushing this.
Echo right here.
Chunks.
Yeah. Oh, and not every light.
Yeah. A little bit of graffiti back here. Wow, isn't that cool? That is cool. Some graffiti, some art. It's kind of amazing people travel all the way back here just to... Your battery died?
I think you made full. It wasn't getting warning, so it must just be cold.
Yeah, so look at this. So we're coming out the other side. It looks like this side's traversed a little more. There's even an old fire pit. Some cones left from the forest fire. But yeah, look at this. Wow, this is a great looking tunnel here. Look at this. Kind of left that. All that rock they blew up to get through. That is cool. Isn't that cool? Old Great Northern Line, folks. Old Great Northern Line. Look at that. Wow. Beauty.
Very cool.
So let's head back through there. Danger. Do not enter tunnel. I think it's safe. I think we're doing all right. This says 1911.
And I thought the other
So,
one was 14, but maybe it was just a break.
yeah. Tunnel number 9, 1911. Great Northern. Isn't that a beauty?
Oh no, it's back on. Okay. Cool. I wanted to get a picture of this graffiti.
Shut this gate.
Heavy.
It looks like,
Oh, here, pull. Maybe.
yeah, they're not having luck at keeping people out of this historic infrastructure. All these locks and stuff on here were grinded off, it looks like. Yeah. Look at this. But as we make our way back through, kind of see some of this weird graffiti. Look at this, an equation.
That's funny.
Interesting. Oh, that's cool. It's an old miner.
Oh, I see it. It took me a second. I wonder if my
That one's cool. I appreciate that one. That's an old miner.
Let's see if I can get her back on.
3777. That's what that says on there.
I wonder if that's accurate though, because
I mean,
that would have been pretty darn faded.
it's probably not. It,
Flashlight burns it.
it looks like people. What's that? Stay
Devoted, or
devoted.
stay.
Devoted.
Are you sure?
Yep. This is a lover's tunnel as well, apparently. Eric and Michelle.
Oh, we should have brought a pen.
Yep. Don't say that. We don't do that.
We don't do that, no.
But 2008, Eric and Michelle, I hope you're still together. And how many years of marriage would that be?
Well, 16 years ago was 2008.
16 years ago. Eric and Michelle, if you have been in here and you're watching this, let me know how you guys are doing.
When I graduated high school. Don't do that math, though.
Going back out this way. Look at this. Too cool.
Yeah, there was no outlet thing.
No what?
The little...
Yeah, there wasn't. There really wasn't, was there? So people...
It's not a super long tunnel, I guess.
It's really narrow compared to a couple other tunnels. But it's well constructed. Way better than the Northern Pacific one I was in. Interesting place here. And this up here is where it's given away. So if we take a look at it again, yeah, right here.
That's kind of wild, huh?
Yeah, it really is. You see the earth just kind of pushing on this concrete, because this is the best way to see it, right like this. See the arch and this sidewall. Look at, I'm flush with the sidewall and it's cut in half, the exit.
Oh yeah, it's really coming out right there.
These big massive cracks. So one day this will give way.
It's pretty.
This will,
Like this.
yeah.
One hand fits inside of that.
Yeah. Size reference is pretty funny. Go down here. Walk down there. It is a pretty tall tunnel.
It's big. I mean, I'm almost 6 feet tall.
Some rot here. Yeah.
There must be a crack up there if it's dripping down from right here.
Yeah. Yep. Yep, this is where it's the worst.
Yeah.
About midway through, I still can't get over that bulge. You can really make it out right here.
I love those icicles up there.
It is cool, isn't it?
There's nice here.
Yeah. We're going to have to go to the other one. You know what one I'm talking about? The one that we went to earlier in the summer when we did our first video together. In the winter, because it makes it an ice cave.
Oh yeah, okay. That one.
Yep, we're going to have to do that.
Yeah.
There's a bear on that. This is cool coming out of here. Someone left some litter. Truly, this would be a hangout. Truly a hangout. So, and another thing to look at as you're going through this is the architecture of the tunnel itself. It differs from rail line to rail line. So if you look back in some videos, we went into some Milwaukee tunnels. We've went into some Northern Pacific tunnels. And this is our first Great Northern Rail tunnel. But the method of construction differs. You see the trim and the text up there where it says 1911, number 9. Okay, that's Art Deco, kinda like a Art Deco text style. And just the short little curvature, you know, up on that top pillar is very interesting as well, but it's very matter of fact. So you look at this tunnel and it doesn't pop out. Now, the Northern Pacific had a little rougher method of construction. They utilized wood a lot too in their portal entrances. But the Milwaukee, their tunnels are signature. Everything Milwaukee has its own flair. It's almost like a Spanish Art Deco kind of look. And this you're seeing almost like a civil construction Art Deco era look. Not really much different compared to like a civil undertaking or project. But the tunnel engineers would have built this, and the Great Northern would have ran right through this and ended up where we started the video and headed on down to Butte, Tana. So yeah, just a really interesting piece of history here that again is a part of American exceptionalism and that age of true greatness where industrialization was forthcoming. The Homestead Act was still in full swing. The rail line was supporting homesteaders and a lot of agricultural producers, and we were feeding ourselves as a country as a whole. And just so many good things were going on. Fiat currency was not in existence. It was backed by gold. There was mining. There was so much industry. And now it's just, look at this. It's an attraction for us to marvel at in this day and age. Really cool. Really cool. Happy to have you guys along. We're going to go up the trail. If I run into anything else, I'll be sure to let you know. And I'll probably throw out back Jackie in a snowbank after this, but I won't put it on camera. Thanks, guys. See you on the next one. So guys, you might be wondering why I'm still out here. Well, we had a battery die, so we got our booster pack, we charged it up. We're just outside the rail tunnel, and we had to come back up the mountain and save out back Jackie. I asked her why she was up here, and she said, I found a cool rail tunnel.
Yeah.
So that's it. We're making our way back down the mountain. We're gonna be safe and home. Pleasure to be on this adventure. Hopefully next time this doesn't happen. But yeah, so she's going now. Got her boosted up. Good to go. Thanks, people.
It's been too long. Won't you come back?